Now we have the idea about the Java technology, and it's time for us to use it to write a real code with Java programming language. I'm gonna give you example. It's a really simple program, Hello World, and let me show you how to do it. First of all, you should have a platform, your own computer, the operation system, maybe the Microsoft Windows or the Mac operation system. And then you need software to build your own development environment. Here's the software we should install before you write your first program, Hello World. The first software is development kit for standard edition, the Java SDK, the software development kit. You can download it from the Oracle website. And if you want to do all of things in the command windows, you need a text editor to write your source code. Uh, Generally, all of the operating system have this software. For example, in the Unix, you have VI. In the Microsoft Windows, you have Notebook or Notepad. So you don't require to install another software for editing your code. Use the software shipped with the operating system. It's enough. And the very important for us is if you don't want to write code and compile code and debug code in the command line window, it's tough. So you need an IDE, an integrated development environment. It's a tool to help us to finish all the tasks, to do all the procedures of the developing software easily. Nowadays, there are quite a lot of software for us to choose. Here is the popular stuff. It's NetBeans IDE, the Eclipse IDE, or the IntelliJ IDLE IDE. There are three the most popular development environment. And I recommend you use NetBeans because in the labels on the computers, they have installed NetBeans for us. But if you like the other development environment, you can prefer Eclipse or other software, whatever. Choose the best one for you. Choose a suitable one for you to use. But I recommend you to use NetBeans. So for example, I will use the NetBeans as a development environment to demonstrate all of the procedures when I do the developing job. Okay. So you have built the environment. The next step is how to create your first application, Hello World. What's the first step? The very beginning, and you should create a source code. The source code is text file and it's named as something.java. Be sure, make the name as Java, not other names. Just as you use C language, you must write it as something.c, use C++, something.cpp. as well. So use Java this name. And the next step, you should compile the source code, the Java file, into bytecode file. The bytecode file, the name is something dot class. It's a bytecode, and use a compiler to create this bytecode from your source code. And the next step, because the bytecode is not for the target operating system, it target to the JVM, as we know. So you should launch a JVM on your operating system, the interpreter, to run the code, to run the bytecode code. That's the final step. And if there's some error during the comparing, during the running, you may come backward to re-edit your source code and compare it again and run again till there's no errors and get the final result. Well, let me show you the first example, the Hello World application. The Hello World application is a desktop application. It means it's run on your desktop computer, your personal computer, on the system, for example, Windows. This application, what purpose application? It is used to display a string on the standard output window. Standard output for the operating system for the Windows is a command line screen. So we will output a string in the standard output window. That's what we want to do. Use this code. Here's the code. Well, you may notice that we have several symbols. That is, you familiar with the symbols because it's a similarity as the language you have named before. For example, the C. Yes, something is really the same, the similarity as the language of then the C or C++ because we have told you the Java programming language is developed based on them. So we have same symbol like the brackets, parentheses, and like here as a statement and with a semicolon. It's the same. And the code, Hello World application in Java, all the code is given as a class. So we have class name as Hello World application, Hello World app. And then inside we call it class body. Inside class body we have methods, we have variables. Now we don't have any variables because it's very simple code. Only the method is required inside the class body. It's main method. Its main method it has several modifications. We'll tell something about these modifications in later in following chapters. And it has the parameters inside the parentheses. And this is just as same as the function in the C programming language. Yes, but in Java, we don't call it a function, we call it a method. And it's a body of the method body, we have the statements. These statements just use an API, a method, and a system out. System out is object. The system object, the print line, is the method of this object. Its function is to output a string. Hello world, we have a string. We use the quotation mark. Here's a hello world string. We will output a string to stand output. Here's what our intent. This is what the code will do. Here we have the source code. and we have some comments here. For example, it's slash asterisk asterisk and asterisk slash. This is a comment. This is comment, and we will call it Java documentation comments. We're talking about later, and this double slash is another type of comment here. And once we have finished editing the source code, use a text editor, we'll save it. Be sure, save it as the name. The limit must be at the same as the class name. All class names Hello World app. Be sure H, W, and A are the big letters. So you have to save the code with the same name. The big H, the big W, and big A. If you save it as a small h, oh, it's totally different file. And if you save it as this file name, you may meet errors when you compile the file to the class file, because in Java, all of the things, all the symbols are case sensitive. You must notice it's case sensitive, so the big H is totally different from the small h. You must know that. Okay. Once we finish edit the code, we have to get the source code as the Hello World app Java. So next step, if we use the command line, we have the Java C as a compiler and the Java as a JVM launcher. So first up, we use Java C, use this command, and use the Hello World app Java, the file as a parameter. We compile this source file into a bytecode. We get a bytecode. The bytecode name is class. We get Hello World app class, but this class, it can run directly on the target operating system. So we should use a JVM launcher. Here we launch JVM use command Java, and we use Hello World app, the class name as a parameter, and run it. It will launch the JVM, and inside the JVM, your bytecode will be interpreted, and the result will be output in the standard output screen. Here the steps how to create your first Hello World code. The first step, use an editor to create the source code Java source code. And the next step, use a compiler to compare the source code to the bytecode. Now you get the bytecode, and the next step, it's a final step, you use a JVM launcher to launch your JVM to run your code. So we have the 3 steps. You can do it in the command line, but you can do it in the IDE, in the development environment. It's more easy than in the command line. Well, I will give you some real example how to do the things in the following videos. Let me show you how to download the software required and build your own development environment for Java programming language. So, because most of you use Microsoft Windows as your desktop operation system, so here we use the Windows system as the demonstration environment. So first, you should download the Java Development Kit and the Integrated Development Environment as the next step. First, we want to download the JDK. I recommend you download from the official site, the Oracle site. But if its speed is too slow, you can consider use this mirror site on the internet. We'll go to the Office site, Oracle site. So, well, open your browser and in the address bank and type your address. The Oracle site address is http //www dot oracle oracle.com. Okay, and here we comes to the Oracle site. And where's the Java? Let me find it. Oh, here we see here the resource for developers, stand-ups, students, educators. Select developers, and they will takes you to the page for developers. Here we find this download menu. And download menu, you click and select well this OpenJDK, the Java SE APIs, and you should choose the Java SE, this item. The standard edition for development environment building. Well, now this is page for the standard edition, and we see, well, there's a lot of things about the standard edition, different version. That's the version for the Java development kit is 13th. I recommend you don't use this version and use the old version, the 8. So we click this item Java SE 8. Well, it takes us to the new page for the Java downloading. And here you can find the Java SE 8 sections. And in this side sections, you can find there are different items listed here. So Oracle JDK, the JDK download, the JRE download. Notice that I have told you that JRE is different from JDK. If you want to develop in Java, you must download JDK software. But if you only want to use this JVM and install JVM on your computer, use JRE instead. So here we want to build our own development environment, so we select the JDK, download this item. Click. Well, it's open a new page. On this page, you will see a list of all kinds of different versions for different operating system. Here we see oh, it's Linux and it's Mac and it's Unix service and it's Windows. Well, because our operating system is Windows and it's Windows 10, so we should use the 64-bit. But if you Windows 32-bit, you must select this Windows 32-bit. But if you are Windows 10, choose the correct one is 64 bits. So simply click the link and the download will start. This is how to get the JDK from the Office side, Oracle Corporation side. And if you want to download the IDE, the Integrate Development Environment, how you should do? Well, just back to the page for all of the JDK version. Well, we come back to the page and we find there is item named as NetBeans IDE in the upper right side, and simply click the IDE, click the link, and it takes you to the NetBeans Office site. A little bit slowly, but it comes to it's NetBeans. The Office site for the NetBeans is netbeans.org. Remember, it's org, not com, and it's HTTPS. Remember, if you want text by your own, you should type the right name in the address blanket. Okay, here we comes to the NetBeans official site. And where's the NetBeans? Oh well, oh, it's a little bit slowly. And well, it takes me to the new page. It's all about this NetBeans, the very latest version for NetBeans is 11.2. We recommend to use the latest version, 11.2. So there's two items, features, download, click the download. Click this button and it takes you new page. Here we see a lot of things about it, the new version of NetBeans. Just select installers. Here's the installers. So there are three versions for the NetBeans installers for Windows, 64-bit, for Linux, and for Mac. Because we are Windows 10, so we choose the first one on the list. It's for the Windows 64-bit. Click it and the download will be automatically started. And once you download all the software you require, the JDK and the NetBeans, the both are executable file on the Windows 10 platform. So simply click them and the install process will start automatically. And during the installation, select the default configuration. Don't modify anything. Use the default. Use the default button till the end. First, you should install the JDK. After that, install NetBeans. Okay. Once you have installed both of two software and inside the start menu, you will see the icon for the NetBeans. Here it's NetBeans, Apache NetBeans, and it's NetBeans, Apache NetBeans IDE. The version is 11.2. Okay, this is how to install the software you need for build your own environment for developing the Java programs. Alright, I'm going to show you how to use NetBeans as your tool to develop your first Java application, Hello World. Well, suppose you have installed the software required, the JDK, Standard Edition, and the NetBeans environment. Let's get started. First, go to Start menu and find the Apache NetBeans. Well, it's here. Click. Well, here we go. It launched the NetBeans. Okay, well, there's the NetBeans. It's a graphic user interface. It's easy to use. Then the command line window. And in the NetBeans, all the Java programs, including the source file and the class file and the resource file, such as the images and sound effects files and data or other whatever. It's all it have been put into a project folder. So all these files have been managed as a project. So you must remember, you must use the project as the basic unit to manage your code. So the first step, we create a project for your the first application, Hello World. Okay, how to create the project. Yeah, we have three. Well, we here's the menu, the file, edit, the view, and lot of items. But we click the file and we see the menu items. Menu items is the new project, a new file, and simply click the new file, new project item. It will help you to create your first project folder. Or here is toolbar. Here's this button, new project. Click the button and the same function to create the project. So we create project and you will see here dialog box. Here's two block. The left side is categories. It's which categories we should use to create our own project folder. We should use the Java with ant method. So the right side, you see a list, Java application, Java class, library, the other stuff. And you should choose the first item, Java application. Well, and then click the next button. Once you click next button, the project folder will be created by NetBeans. But I must remind you, the very first time when you create the first project, it may be a little bit slowly because the NetBeans need to download something that's very important for it to build the final environment for Java coding. So just be patient. And at this time, all interface must be freezed. Yeah, just let it be. And keep the connection to internet. And just for 7 minutes, after download all the file required, and the next button, click it, and it will take you to the next dialog box. Till the end, you will create the correct project for the first application. Okay, then click next. The next button will as a new dialog box open. Now here they ask you to input the project name, the location. We keep it as the default. And here you can change the name as the name you want. For example, we rename it as my first application. Yeah. And this project location is on your hard disk. And the folder name is the same as the project name. And then there's a checkbox, create main class. Here, create main class means the NetBeans will help you to create the main class and give the default name. But in this project, we only have one program, so we don't need use this function. Just uncheck the box and click the finish button. Well, now the project folder has been created, and we see here the left side, the up left side, the area is project navigator, and inside the window you'll see a list of all your projects here. Here we only have one project, my first application. You'll see the project folder. You'll see your project folder here, and then open the folder. There's a source package, library, and click the source package. Nothing in it. It's an empty project. So the next step, you should create the class file. So select the name of project and right-click your mouse, and the menu popped up. And inside the menu, you find the menu item new. And the next item is folder, Java class, different form. At this time, only use a Java class. In the future, we'll use a Java form or other items as well. And here we use Java class. Click the Java class, and then a new dialog box comes out and asks you to input the lemon class. the demo class, we will build my first application, my Hello World code. So the name of code, the name of source code is the same as the class name. Is Hello World app. Here's the name. And here's a project is inside the My First Application folder. There's a location, the source package. It is package in this folder. And the package, now keep it default. It's empty. In the future, we're talking about the package, talking about this blank, how to use it. But today, we don't use it, so keep it blank. And click the finish button. Well, okay, well, here we go. Then a new edit window open. Here's the edit window. Inside the window, go write your code here, and this is your work area. And inside work area, the NetBeans will help you create an empty class. Its name is Hello World app, but the class body is empty. So all you need to do is write the code inside class body. And we copy the code inside it. Well, okay, just copy it. Okay, well, paste it here. Well, this inside the class body, now we have a main method, and inside the main method, we have a method. Use a print9. Use this method to print out a string inside the parentheses. Hello world. Okay, here's my source code. I finished editing the source code. Then we should save it. And save it, you can use the toolbar as a menu item, save, or you use the menu. And you save it. And then next step, we must compile this file and get the class file. How to compile the file? It's very simple. And in the project folder, you can see your source code here, Hello World app Java, and right-click the file name, and in the menu popped up, you'll find the menu item, compile file. Click the file, click the compile file, click the item, and the comparing process is starting. And if it is some error, when the compile finds some error inside your source code, here it will give you 9 number of the errors, but our code is correct. No problems, no errors. So it tells us build successfully. Okay, and now you get the class file. And next step, you should run it. How to run the code? And the same step, you come back to this navigate window and find my class name, Hello World app. Find the source file and right-click the mouse, and in the menu popped up, we use the next menu item, run file. I use the run file, and the output window, the bottom window, we will see here is output window, and the information, the string output by code will display on the window. We can see the hello world. Well, it's the result. Okay, that is how to create your first Hello World Java code, and how to compare it and how to run it inside the NetBeans. Okay, just try it